Okay. All right. So thank you so much for volunteering to do this with me today. I know people really learn a lot from seeing demos. And so this is like a real life demo. I haven't worked with you on this, and we'll see what happens. I know that I wanted to do a demo on pain, and you so graciously volunteered to help me with that.
Yes.
So, yeah. Okay. So you did a meta consultation with Craig, which you allowed me to view. And there were some things that kind of piqued my curiosity, and we will get there. Is there anything, let's just get a gauge on the pain level right now. What it's your knee that you've been having issues with.
Right. My right knee. Yes.
Yeah. And give me a pain level right now.
Right now, as I'm sitting here, I would say that it's a 1, just sitting here.
Okay. And if you were to do something, it would bring it up? Is there a movement that would cause it to go up?
If I went downstairs, or if I twisted, I tend to twist when I'm doing certain things, and I don't notice it until I go to take a step, and then I feel it. Yeah.
Okay. But just sitting there now, it's about a 1.
Right.
Okay. And because you know that we do not work on healing or curing or treating pain. We're working at looking at all the emotional contributing factors, and we address that, then the body is able to gets the ability or the chance to really heal itself. So you have seen it, you have been looked at for this problem. You have addressed it in various ways. So I've got to ask that.
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So tell me give me a description of the pain level 1 in your right knee. Exact location of the pain?
It's like a circle around the kneecap. That's where the inflammation is. It's encircles the kneecap.
Okay. And is it the shape of a circle, or is it a different shape?
No, it's the shape of a circle. It is there's more inflammation on certain areas of that circle, like the inside of the kneecap. And I also have a Baker's cyst in the back of the kneecap, in the back of the knee, which was discovered.
Okay. And as you're sitting there with the one level pain, what is piquing your attention? What is drawing your attention? Where is the 1 located now? The whole thing, or any of these particular places?
I would say the area on the left side of the kneecap, where most of the inflammation is.
Okay. All right. So left side of kneecap, and the left side of kneecap, describe the pain or sensation that you're feeling there right now.
It feels more like a pressure because, excuse me, I'm not up on it. I'm not walking on it. So it's just sitting here. It feels more like a pressure.
Okay. So there's pressure, and in that particular area, in the left side of the right kneecap, does it have a weight, a texture, a shape, temperature, color, anything like that?
It actually does have a temperature. It is always felt warmer than my left knee. That's caused by the inflammation.
Okay.
So it does have a slight temperature.
Okay.
I can't think of anything else in terms of
okay.
I don't know.
All right. Okay. No, that's good. That's good. Warm, and it's pressure. And then on the left side of the right kneecap, that isn't the circle. The circle is around the kneecap. What would you say the shape is of that part of the left side of the right kneecap?
The left side of the right kneecap is where there's some inflammation. And what you want me to describe that?
So it
Okay,
doesn't have a shape because the circle is really the whole thing.
right.
But I'm
Okay.
just saying,
I
is
understand.
there? It might, there not might be, there might not be, so it's fine, but is there a
No,
shape to that particular
yes,
part?
yes, there is. It's sort of, well, it's the shape of a chicken egg. It's an
Chicken
egg
egg.
shape, yeah, it's an egg shape um, pocket, if you will, of inflammation. It's
Yeah.
fluid, probably, yeah.
Okay. Right. So let's get tapping. I think we're going to start here with some chasing the pain.
Okay.
Okay. If I ask you to repeat anything that doesn't sound true, you'd like to say it in a different way, something else floats into your mind, please correct me, jump in, interrupt me. The power of this is for me to use your words as much as I can. Okay. So even though I have this pressure
I have this pressure
on the left side of my right kneecap,
on the left side of my right kneecap,
it's like an egg-shaped chicken egg. It's a chicken egg shaped. Yeah, it's an egg-shaped area
it's an
or
egg-shaped
pocket.
area.
Pocket, you said.
Pocket.
Yeah,
Yeah.
egg-shaped pocket. I deeply and completely accept myself,
I deeply and completely accept myself,
even though
even though
I'm feeling this pressure.
I'm feeling this pressure.
It's an egg-shaped pocket
It's an egg-shaped pocket
on the left side of my right kneecap,
on the left side of my right kneecap,
and it's warm.
and it's warm.
I deeply and completely accept myself,
I deeply and completely accept myself,
even though there's this pressure
even though there's this pressure
on the left side of my right kneecap.
on the left side of my right kneecap.
It's warm.
It's warm.
It's like an egg-shaped pocket.
It's like an egg-shaped pocket.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
This egg-shaped pocket,
This egg-shaped pocket,
there's pressure and it's warm.
there's pressure and it's warm.
It's on the left side of my right kneecap.
It's on the left side of my right kneecap.
This pressure,
This pressure,
it's warm.
it's warm.
On the left side of my right kneecap.
On the left side of my right kneecap.
It's like an egg-shaped pocket.
It's like an egg-shaped pocket.
On the left side of my right kneecap.
On the left side of my right kneecap.
Okay. Would you still describe it in the same way as it is still in the same location?
I would describe it the same way, except that I feel a slight vibration in it now. I feel
Okay.
the awareness.
Yeah. Is it still a 1?
Yes.
Okay. Let's try again. So even though there's this pressure and vibration
there's this pressure and vibration
on the left side of my right kneecap,
on the left side of my right kneecap.
it's warm.
It's warm.
It's like an egg-shaped pocket.
It's like an egg-shaped pocket.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though there's this left-shaped pocket
Even though there's this left-shaped pocket
that has some vibration in it,
that has some vibration in it,
there's pressure and it's warm
there's pressure and it's warm
on the left side of my right kneecap.
on the left side of my right kneecap.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though there's this pressure and vibration
Even though there's this pressure and vibration
on the left side of my right kneecap,
on the left side of my right kneecap,
that's an egg-shaped pocket.
that's an egg-shaped pocket.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
This vibration,
This vibration,
it's like an egg-shaped pocket.
it's like an egg-shaped pocket.
Left side of my right kneecap.
Left side of my right kneecap.
There's pressure and it's vibrating
There's pressure and it's vibrating
and it's warm.
and it's warm.
This egg-shaped pocket,
This egg-shaped pocket.
left side of my right kneecap.
Left side of my right kneecap.
There's pressure and vibration.
This pressure and vibration.
Did it change your move at all?
No, I don't know. No, the vibration was the new piece and it hasn't changed from that.
Okay. All right, good. Well, since it's at about a 1, usually we do chasing the pain when it's higher or as a bridge to work with physical things. But it's low enough. Let's go there. And so what after yesterday, what have you started thinking about some of the themes that came up? And let me just say a couple of things around meta. We know that you're right-handed, and
Right.
so we're talking about the right knee. The muscular skeletal system is all some flavor, depending on where it is, of not good enough. Right knee, right side is going to be someone that you are on equal level to. So instead of a parent child or a dog or a book project or things like that, it's going to be colleague, it's going to be a romantic relationship, a friend, something like that. So looking at all of that, what did you come up with, and what did you reflect on? I could be contributing to this.
Well, I reflected mostly on moving forward.
Yeah.
And relationship and also career, I think I don't know whether career fits into the family piece or not, but at that level. But those two things definitely are areas where I think about moving forward in those every day. So it's always on my mind.
Okay.
In the background. Yeah.
All right. So if we were to take the moving forward with relationship, what does that actually mean to you?
What that actually means to me is, what is the future going to look like? Because I know what my partner's plan is, and I'm not sure what that's going to look like. So moving forward into that, moving forward in a different way, moving forward is a very open-ended, area.
Okay. When you so did you have a conversation about the plan?
No.
How do
With
you know
Craig?
about the plan? No,
Oh,
I meant with your partner.
oh, yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
The plan has been known for years. It's been talked
Okay.
about in many different ways.
Okay. Can you recall one conversation about the plan? And don't even have to describe it. Just can you remember one in particular?
Sure. Mhm.
Okay. All right. And when you think about that conversation, what's the emotion you're feeling?
Well, I always use the metaphor that I glaze over when it comes up. I just check out. I don't really answer. I'm not definitive. Um, and the other side of that is that he is very definitive about, what that looks like.
Yeah.
And I just,
Okay. So
yeah.
thinking about just the conversation, one conversation where you did that, what's your emotion feeling? What are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling like I'm bracing.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I'm bracing for not impact, but I would say blocking moving forward. So I'm holding on to my ground.
Yep.
Is how I feel.
Okay. So how strong is that emotion right now, 0 to 10?
I'd say that is at least an 8.
Okay. Do you feel that anywhere in your body? A tension, a tightness, or constriction anywhere?
I can feel it in my solar plexus for sure.
Okay. Great. Let's go for it. So even though I'm remembering this one conversation
I'm remembering this one conversation
about the future, and I'm bracing,
I'm bracing,
I'm blocking,
I'm blocking,
and I feel it in my solar plexus.
and I feel it in my solar plexus.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though
Even though
I'm bracing,
I'm bracing.
I'm blocking.
I'm blocking.
And it's showing up in my solar plexus.
And it's showing up in my solar plexus.
Just thinking about this conversation.
Just thinking about this conversation.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I feel myself bracing and blocking.
Even though I feel myself bracing and blocking.
And I feel it in my solar plexus.
And I feel it in my solar plexus.
Thinking about that conversation about the future.
Thinking about that conversation about the future.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I'm bracing and blocking.
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 Okay, thinking about just, I know there were many, but just that one conversation where that particular one happened. Give me bracing and blocking. Is that still the emotion? Is it still innate? Is it still showing up in your solar plexus?
It has bracing and blocking was the original sentiment feeling, but now I'm transitioning into looking at it and thinking that I don't have the right answer here, so I'm not going to say anything. It's
And
more
what's
like,
the emotion? What's the emotion with, I don't know what the right answer is. What's the emotion you're feeling right now?
I'm feeling like it's not safe to speak my mind.
Okay. And that not safe feeling, 0 to 10?
0 to 10 is an 8.
And do you still feel it in your solar plexus or somewhere else?
It's actually moved down a ways. So it's in my second chakra now.
Okay. All right. Even though,
just
thinking about that conversation, I feel like I don't have the right answer.
I feel like I don't have the right answer.
And it doesn't feel safe.
And it doesn't feel safe.
And I feel it in my second chakra.
And I feel it in my second chakra.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though it doesn't feel safe.
Even though it doesn't feel safe.
And I feel it in my second chakra.
And I feel it in my second chakra.
Just thinking about that conversation.
Just thinking about that conversation.
I don't have the right answer.
I don't have the right answer.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I feel not safe.
Even though I feel not safe.
In my second chakra.
In my second chakra.
Just thinking about that conversation.
Just thinking about that conversation.
I don't have the right answer.
I don't have the answer that he wants to hear.
Okay.
Which means
okay. I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Not safe in my second chakra.
Not safe in my second chakra.
Feeling not safe in my second chakra.
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 All righty. Thinking about that conversation now. You didn't have the right answer. Didn't feel safe. It doesn't feel safe as you're seeing it now. And it's in your second chakra and it was an 8. Did anything change?
I'd say it's less than an 8, but I still feel that way. And it hasn't moved to a different place, but I think it's less than an 8. I'd say it's more like a 6.
Okay. And so my first question to myself as a practitioner is, when the suds is moving kind of slowish, the reason why I ask that succinct way after each round is there a shifting aspect? No, there isn't. But it's gone down just a little bit. And so my first question myself is always, all right, we need to get more specific. So thinking about that conversation, as you're looking at it now, like what's the sticking point, the one that's like, yeah, that got me, the look in his eye, the tone of voice, his energy, how you felt, like something you said exactly?
I think I think it has more to do with action in that time, in that, let's call it retirement time. First of all, I have no plans to retire.
Okay.
Zero plans to retire.
Yeah.
I love what I do. I don't see an exit for it because I love it. And I think that that's probably at least 60 to 70% of it. Right?
So you are shifting to it actually happening, not the conversation about it, but actually some point in the future where this happens for him.
Well, I'm looking at it because it's an inevitability. And he's already decided that he's going to retire and do what he does. And I'm not on that path.
Okay.
So I guess I'm worried about it more than anything.
Okay. So he's going to go off and do what he's going to do sometime in the next, how long?
3 years.
Okay. So I want you to imagine a scene 3 years from now, make it up, where he's doing what he's doing. Thinking about that, and give me more detail if you feel comfortable of what does that look like and how you feel.
It's hard for me to, well, first of all, it's a very relaxed atmosphere and I'm more high paced than that. So I would have a hard time being in that 24/7 without bringing great judgment to it.
So what does it actually look like? You're a day 3 years from now where he's retired. What in your mind does that look like?
It
You
looks
said
like
slower pace. Slower pace meaning what?
slower pace meaning getting up in the morning, just being in the kitchen, just taking your time, no really place to go. Just, I can't even say it. It drives me crazy.
Okay. Okay. Let's tap on that. Okay. 3 years from now, you're together, you're in the kitchen, and you realize there's like no place to go. There's all this slow pace about the day. What are you feeling? What's your emotion?
That's not my life.
That's
I'm
his life.
I'm not in that. Yeah, I'm not in that. I'm observing that. I'm observing that. I'm in the other room in the office, you know, doing my thing. It just doesn't line up energetically.
Okay. And so he's doing that and you're doing your thing, but let me hear what your conflict is.
My conflict is, how does that coexist? I'm not sure how that can coexist.
What's your greatest fear about that?
Wanting the other person to be a different way so that it's more comfortable, you know, because all human beings want people to be like them so they'll be comfortable. So when it's uncomfortable, then you have conflict.
So who's more likely to be uncomfortable with he's doing his thing, you're doing your thing? Which one of you is more likely to be uncomfortable with that?
I'm more likely to be uncomfortable with that, but there will come a time, 9 months or a year in, that I'll get, you know, we're retired. What the heck? You know, what's going on? You're doing that. I'm doing this. What are we doing? There's going to come a time where it's going to be.
So which is stronger? You're feeling uncomfortable early on where he's doing his own thing and you are doing yours. He's doing a slow pace retirement thing. You're in your office getting ready, buzzing around. Or is the other scenario bringing up more intensity, the uncomfortableness that he will express somewhere 6 months, 9 months down the road?
what's coming up for me right now is the fact that I can describe those two things, but what needs to happen, I hope I'm not jumping ahead here.
No, go ahead.
What needs to happen is right now, I need to have a conversation, an honest conversation. I need to move forward on the conversation,
Mhm.
have the conversation before any of that even happens.
Perfect. Okay. So tell me when you are going to have that conversation. Moving forward.
That is a very good question. I will commit to having that conversation, not this weekend because his sister is visiting, but the following weekend.
Okay. So great. That's the first weekend in November.
That's right.
Okay. And so thinking about you having that conversation with him first weekend in November, make up the scenario where you will be when you're having this conversation. Thinking about that, what are you feeling?
That's a very good question because 99% of our interaction happens on his turf, in
Okay.
his house, on his land.
Okay.
So I think I would rather go to a neutral place to
Okay.
level the playing field.
Okay. And where might that be? In a park, a restaurant, just generically, where might
Yeah,
that
it
be?
wouldn't be a restaurant. Wouldn't be a restaurant. It would be somewhere private, like even if we were driving or, no, I wouldn't want driving because that's distraction. I want eye contact.
Okay.
So it would be a private scenario. Maybe we're, I don't know, actually, to answer your question, sitting in the car or something like that, but not with it
Okay.
moving.
So let's back up. How would you tell him we need to talk? How would that happen?
I would tell him that I want to talk to him about the future and the inevitability of what his idea of that looks like, because I'm wired differently. He knows all that. We've been together for 23 years.
Yeah.
It's not like we don't know each other.
Yeah. All right. So you're sitting in the car because you've had the conversation that you're going to be having the conversation. You're sitting in the car. It's a private place. You're in neutral territory. And what are you going to say? What would you like to say to start this conversation?
To start the conversation, I would like to say, just setting it up, I'd like to talk about what you think this retirement aspect of our lives is going to look like as a unit. What do you see this unit looking like?
Yes. And so thinking about that and his answer and your dynamic, because you've been together so long, you know what you could be projecting what he's going to say. What do you think is going to might go south, or does it all feel really great?
It doesn't feel all really great. We're very different.
Okay.
And so I think there's going to be some white water. And I don't mean that in a way that is dangerous or anything like that. I mean, there's no anger, but I think it's going to be tough.
And it'll be tough what you're hearing, what you're saying. First of all, like asking him to have the conversation, what is this? And what do you see us do? Like, what do you see as us in retirement as a unit? That feels okay to you. You can actually ask that question without feeling any intensity.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to go on to having this discussion, which will have white water, as you put it. Thinking about that, there's going to be white water in this conversation. Are you feeling anything?
Yeah, it's a little fear.
0 to 10.
Yeah, 0 to 10. I'd say it's at least a 4 because I'm not sitting in it right now, but I have been in that place before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And let's go a step further. Fear of what?
Fear of conflict. he can be accusatory, and I don't see where there's any accusation in this. I think it's just we're two different people. And
Okay. Fear that he will be accusatory. And let me just say, when we're in these patterns with partners, there's usually a phrase that they use over and over again. Is there a phrase that he typically uses when you're like, oh, he's being accusatory?
no.
Or the tone of voice or the way he looks?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The tone of voice
Tone of voice. Great.
rises, and you can just feel the scoops of discomfort coming into the energy field.
Great. Love that. I love that description. Okay. Is it still a 4 or did it go up?
No, I think it's up to a 5.5.
Okay. And where do you feel that? Where do you feel that fear?
I feel it again in my second chakra.
Okay. All right. Even though I feel all this fear in my second chakra,
Even though I feel all this fear in my second chakra,
just imagining we're in this private place having this discussion,
just imagining we're in this private place having this discussion,
and I can hear it in the tone of voice.
I can hear it in his tone of voice.
Here come the scoops of discomfort.
Here come the scoops of discomfort.
He's being accusatory.
He's sounding accusatory.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I feel this fear.
Even though I feel this fear.
Did you just say in your solar plexus or second chakra?
Second chakra.
Yeah. It's this fear in my second chakra.
This fear in my second chakra.
Just thinking about that private conversation.
Just thinking about that private conversation.
And he's, through his tone, I can hear in his tone of voice, he's sounding accusatory.
I can hear in his tone of voice that he's sounding accusatory to me. That's how I'm taking it.
Yeah. And here come the scoops of discomfort.
Here come the scoops of discomfort from him.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I feel all this fear in my second chakra.
Even though I feel all this fear in my second chakra.
Just thinking about that private conversation.
Just thinking about that private conversation.
In a neutral place.
In a neutral place.
I can hear it in his tone of voice.
I can hear it in his tone of voice.
He's sounding accusatory.
He's sounding accusatory.
Here come the scoops of discomfort.
Here come the scoops of discomfort.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
This fear in my second chakra.
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 This fear in my second chakra. I'm thinking of my second chakra being the nurturing center and trying not to let everything come into that. I'm feeling better about it. I like the plan. I like the fact that I have a plan.
Okay.
Because it's allowing me to prepare. And I'm thinking that I should tell him that I want to have that talk on that time so that he can prepare.
Mm-hmm.
Instead
Okay.
of saying, I want to talk to you today.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So thinking about that conversation that you plan on having and telling him that you're going to have, is there any fear left?
I can't say that there's much fear because I've decided to invite him in.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So,
I want you to close your eyes and really imagine that conversation. And just let's do additional testing on the fear.
okay.
Anything left?
No, just some sadness. No,
About?
no fear, but just some sadness that that it might not work out. I mean, we might decide that this isn't going to work.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So how strong is that sadness?
That sadness is a 2.
Okay. All right. Let's see if we can bring that down, but I think it's connected to much more, but we'll see. All right. Even though I feel this sadness,
Even though I feel this sadness,
and is it showing up anywhere in your body?
same second chakra.
Okay. Even though I feel this sadness in my second chakra,
Even though I feel this sadness in my second chakra,
thinking about that conversation,
thinking about that conversation,
that it might lead to us feeling like it's not going to work out.
it might lead to us feeling like it's not going to work out.
Is that I get that correct?
Yes. you
Okay.
did.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I feel this sadness in my second chakra,
Even though I feel this sadness in my second chakra,
that having that conversation
that having that conversation
might lead us to thinking that it might not work out.
might lead us to thinking that it might not work out.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I feel this sadness in my second chakra,
Even though I feel this sadness in my second chakra,
that having that conversation might lead to us thinking it's not going to work out.
that having that conversation might lead to us not having this work out.
Mhm. I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
This sadness in my second chakra,
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 this sadness in my second chakra.
this sadness in my second chakra.
All right. Thinking about that conversation, it might lead to you both deciding it's not going to work out. Sadness, 0 to 10.
I think that it's down to a 1, but it's transitioning. It's transitioning to acceptance,
Okay.
and that we each have 50% of this conversation. So, and
Okay.
however it turns out
Okay.
is the right way for it to turn out.
Okay. So would you say that taking this step and having this conversation will move you forward?
Yes, it'll move me forward on feeling comfortable about even talking about it.
Great.
Because I've been avoiding it.
Okay. And bracing and blocking. And I mean, it's interesting. We're talking about the knee. So that makes a lot of sense. So let's just check on the knee right now. What are you feeling anything in your right knee?
I'm not feeling it. I'm touching it right now and I'm not feeling anything. I'm not feeling that vibration or anything.
Yeah. No. Okay. We have some more time. So if you wouldn't mind, let's go a little bit deeper. We know that when something hangs around and it doesn't clear up, there might be some secondary gains attached to having that. So we have defense mechanisms most of the time subconsciously that we'd rather have this experience, even if it's painful, than to look or be or do something. And so given what we've been working on, what might that have been for you?
That's a big question.
Can we do some tapping on it?
Sure.
All right.
Just
Okay.
maybe to clarify.
Okay. Even though
this
is a big question.
This is a big question.
And I might need some clarity about it.
And I might need some clarity about it.
I'm willing to see what this is about.
I'm willing to see what this is about.
And again, if I throw out something that doesn't sound true, let me know. All right. So even though there might be some part of me that is having this knee pain because I'd rather have the knee pain than to look or to do something
about the real issue.
Yeah.
And
I need some clarity about it. I'm willing to see what it is. And even though it's a big question. And the knee pain has been around for a bit.
Yes.
And so maybe there is some subconscious reason why it's still here. I'm willing to see what that's about. I wonder what that's about. It's a big question. But I'm ready for clarity. What might this be about? I wonder what it's about. What could it be about? What is my subconscious telling me that this is about? I wonder what it's about.
Let's go around again if we can.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know what it's about.
I don't know what it's about.
Yeah, I don't know what it's about. It's a big question. Maybe there's some part of me that's not on board with it healing. Maybe there's a part of me that wants to hold on to it for some unknown reason. Maybe moving forward, this whole theme about moving forward is a little tricky for me.
Maybe this whole concept of moving forward is a little tricky for me.
I wonder what this is about. And then, as Gary Craig always said, just guess. If I did know.
I think it's fear of the future, fear of, what it might be like.
Yeah.
I was going to say something else and now I forgot what it was. Should have written it down while we were tapping.
All right. So fear of the future connected to this and what we've been talking about.
Oh, I know what it was. The knee and the fact that it's been getting worse. And I think that this might be attached to attention. I think that I'm testing to see if I'm going to get my second chakra nurturing, if I'm going to get the nurturing that I want. So here's a test. Let's have my knee act up.
Yeah.
And here's a test.
Yeah.
So the one segment of the care that I've had for the knee was 2 weeks ago. I went to the ER because I thought I had a blood clot in my leg. Well, I didn't have a blood clot in my leg, but I thought it was a side effect of the knee. And he took me to the ER, came in until they called me to be interviewed, and then left and went home. It was 10 o'clock at night. I stayed in the ER until 8 in the morning, and then called as if he were a taxi to come and pick me up.
All right. How are you feeling about that?
I think he failed that test.
And how do you feel about him failing that test?
I'm trying to say to myself, and I haven't said this to him, of course, because I didn't at the time when he said, I'm going to go, I should have right there. I should have said, really? Are you nuts? But I didn't say that.
Okay.
He left. I didn't say a word. So it's not his fault that he didn't know that.
Yeah.
See, that's the piece. It's my inability to stand up in the moment and say, whoa, 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 whoa. That doesn't meet my needs.
Great. Your inability to stand up, and we're talking about your knee. Perfect. And so I want you to think about that. Just that. I mean, I would suggest absolutely tapping on anything that you have about like he was like a taxi for you. But let's get to the piece of you didn't stand up for what you needed in that moment and said, even just really, what are you feeling about that? What's the emotion that you didn't?
I wish I had, but I've done everything all by myself most of my life. And it's probably because I didn't trust that I'd get a yes answer to help me. So that's the way it's been. And then I came up while I was there with all kinds of excuses like, I'm really glad that I'm here by myself because I get to do what I want. I get to talk to whoever I want to talk to. So I actually went there, and so I soothed myself, I suppose you could call it that, by my environment that I allowed to be created. And if he had been sitting there, it would have been a whole different thing because I would have felt like I was like in a double capsule and I had to just sit there and I couldn't go talk to that lady across the way.
Okay.
And I do
So good. Because it came up in tapping, I want you to actually close your eyes and think about the whole time that you were in that hospital alone. And are you truly like at peace with it? It's good. It was better or whatever.
Yes, I am actually.
Okay. All right. Good. All right. So the fact that it was a test for him and he failed it, that's a whole different thing. And have there been times throughout so how long has the knee pain been around?
About 3 years.
About 3 years. So in that time period, there are times where either you didn't stand up for yourself and say what it was that you needed or wanted, and he didn't support you in some way through that. So I would say that that's the secondary gain piece that needs more attention. And I think that would really help you going forward. So that would be my homework assignment for you. Finding those events and working on them. All right. So now checking in on the knee. Still good?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling opened up. I'm feeling like I have more of a flow. I have more of an ability to speak my truth.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's wrap this up. So even though there might be some more work to do on this,
even though there might be some more work to do on this,
my knee is actually feeling better.
My knee is actually feeling better.
And I feel like I have more flow.
I feel like I have more flow.
And I feel like I've opened up.
I feel like I've opened up.
Even though there might be some more work to do on this.
Even though there might be some more work to do on this.
I've made some interesting connections.
I made some interesting connections.
I know what to do moving forward.
I know what to do moving forward.
And I even have a strategy of what I'm going to do next.
And I even have a strategy of what and when I'm going to do it next.
There you go. So even though there might be some more work to do on this,
there might be some more work to do on this.
I am feeling more hopeful
I am feeling more confident.
More confident. I'm feeling more confident.
I'm feeling more confident.
And I know what's left to work on,
I know what's left to work on.
but I already have a meeting in my mind and when it's going to happen and where.
I already have a meeting in my mind of what's going to happen, but I'm not sure where.
Okay. All right. There's an action step that I'm going to take.
There's an action step that I will be taking, yes.
And I feel like I'm going to be moving forward now.
I will definitely be moving forward now.
I will definitely be moving forward now.
I will definitely be moving forward now.
And maybe without pain.
And without pain. I like to say without pain.
Okay.
Without pain.
Excellent. Excellent. Without pain.
Without pain.
Confidently.
Confidently.
Moving forward.
Moving forward.
And I am learning to stand up.
I am learning to stand up.
I am learning to say what I want.
It's okay to say what I want.
It's really okay for me to say what I want.
It's okay for me to say what I want.
And it'll feel good to say what I want.
It will feel great to say what I want.
Awesome. It'll feel great to say what I want.
It'll feel great to say what I want.
Excellent. All right. Awesome. Thank you so much. That was great.
Welcome. You're welcome. Thank you.